Hello there. Today we're looking for the Rosenthal and Daniel farms. I've just found the farm pond for the Rosenthal farm. Now I need to backtrack. I have a general direction between the bit of trail I left in this pond as to where the little pieces, the foundation and what's left of the well would be for the Rosenthal farm. And then down in a ravine off to my left would be where they dumped their trash. There's supposed to be interesting bits of rubble down there. And we'll probably explore that too, and then head off after this and look for the Daniel farm. Let's see if we could find what's left of the Rosenthal farm. Okay, well, I didn't have any luck in finding the remains of the farmhouse or the well. I found a few pieces of rusted metal here and there, assorted trash. Nothing that is all that interesting really. But I did find a pond, so I know I did find where the farmhouse was. So we're back on the trail, headed to the site of the Daniel homestead. Hope we can find a little bit more to see there. So the temps are in the mid-20s today. My camera batteries aren't lasting very long at all. I've got 4, and I'm hoping that's enough. I'm already on my second, and I just started. Okay, so I was hoping to find signs like this at the Rosenthal place to give me an idea of where the house was located. The yuccas are a great indication. They're landscaping type plants that were used especially back in the day when these farms were active. Here we have a couple of power poles that have since fallen onto the ground, which would be a good indication of the home site. I know we'll find some rubble, a depressed area where the cellar was, and remnants of a well somewhere in this area. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, that's all that remains of the Daniel farmstead. Some power poles and some yuccas. I'm confident we found the place that the home would have been at based on the yuccas. Those were commonly used for landscaping plants around homes back then. I'm also confident that we found the area that the Rosenthal farm would have been in based on the farm pond. That was a definite hint right there that we found it. So if you take a look behind me, you can see that the old ferry road is very well maintained. So I'm going to continue down this trail, and I hope it actually brings me down to the Missouri River, the Katy Trail, the old NKT railroad line, where the ferry crossing would have been too. I don't know if there's any visible signs, of some kind of pier dock, something like that. But I'm hoping to make it all the way down there. I've never been on this part of the trail in this area before, and I'd like to fully explore it while I'm out here. So come along, let's check it out. Okay, so this is very interesting. We just got down to the bottom of the hill. We're into the river bottoms now, and there's a much more well-defined trail where this would be behind me, the direction that I was headed, but it goes off to my left, and I actually hear a family of people talking to each other in that direction. This trail is not on any map I've ever seen. I have no idea actually where it would go and how you would get onto it. But I love finding new surprises. There's more to explore than I expected. So I think what I'm going to do is head off to my left into this area that I have no idea where it goes. But that's where the voices are. So hopefully I run across some people and I can find out what trail this is. Okay, so I'm really not certain about this. My best guess is we actually intersected with the Lewis and Clark Trail. Now, if I stayed on this trail, I would probably not be able to confirm that it is this trail till I get to the trailhead, which would put me a couple of miles down Highway 94 from the car. So what I'm going to do is head back and go on down to the Katy Trail. I must be pretty close at this point, and see what we find there. Okay, so what's most fascinating to me is how well used this trail is. Leaves are all crushed and crumbled. It looks like it receives daily use like the Lewis and Clark Trail would. Now, the trail I'd been on up to this point looks like I was the first one on it, in quite a while anyway. You couldn't tell that it had been walked on. So this is quite the mystery right now. I'm curious to see where I end up on this. Four locks, that seems a little excessive. That's really cool. It's a spring box with stairs coming down the hills on both sides to the spring itself. The spring looks like it no longer flows through the box, but comes out at the base of the hill in front of the box, which then becomes this large stream, which would go under that bridge, which is the Katy Trail, heading on down to the Missouri River. It's one of the coolest things I've ever discovered, just wandering around in the woods. I mean, I had no idea this was here. This is really neat. Well, I was wrong. Imagine that. I didn't come out at all where I expected to come out. I'm fairly certain this is the Bush Greenway Trail, which will go down to the Katy Trail, which I believe is ahead of us, maybe 100 yards. Very beautiful here. I'll show you the other side of the stream. So we are on the Katy Trail at the moment. That was the Bush Greenway that we came out on. This stream flows to the Missouri River. Let me show you the Katy Trail. Okay, so take a quick break, drink some water, and then start to head on back. I have to say though, I'm a little nervous. The entire trail I was on was unmarked until I got to the Bush Greenway, which means I have to take a look trying to find something without markers or signs. So it's going to be an interesting walk back to the car. Okay, so I had a thought. Where I parked to start this hike is at the trailhead for the Bush Greenway. and I've never been on the Bush Greenway. So instead of going back the way I came, I think I'll take the Bush Greenway and explore that. I know it's a longer walk, but it's a new area. I think it's going to be pretty cool. In the distance behind me, you can see a golf course. This trail skirts along the edge of the Weldon Spring Research Site. Well, this is interesting. This is not the Bush Greenway trailhead that I parked at. So, I'm glad there's a map. I'm really glad this is here. This is where I'm parked at. This is where I am right now. So the path I took went roughly this direction. This would have been my intersection with the Lewis Trail, the Lewis and Clark Trail. And then came out here, just before the Katy Trail. So I have a long ways to go to get back to my car. Okay, here we go. Well, now we get a look at the Missouri Bluffs. You too can live here. Or perhaps you prefer this one. This no longer feels like a hike in the woods. Civilization, so quiet and peaceful. One of the things I love about hiking is that you never get the same experience twice. So in all my years of hiking, this is my first Help Wanted sign. Look, Natoli Engineering is hiring. I swear, people, I'm still on a trail. Well, I certainly didn't expect this when I started my hike this morning. I could see Interstate 40 from here, 4064. I'm a long ways from the car. We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto, and I keep getting farther away from the car, not closer. Huh, I always wondered where the entrance to Weldon Spring Heights was. Now I know. Okay, so you know what sucks? When the temperature's in the 20s and you really have to pee and you're no longer in the woods. Okay, so what started as an out and back hike ended up as a large loop hike. It was very different from any hike I've done before, which makes it a lot of fun. It's quite the adventure. So if you're interested in finding the Daniel Cemetery, Rosenthal Farm, the areas we went to earlier in this video, I'm going to put links to a couple of websites in the description below. Click on the Daniel Cemetery hike link through those websites and you'll see a small map and brief description. And of course, you know what to do if you'd like to have a bigger adventure. Thanks for watching.